Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of BTTH the Flame Emperor episode number 104 based on novel. So let's start. What's wrong? Xiao Yan roared, pulling Xiao Yi's eyes back to the giant stone statue, and then everyone became vigilant. His eyes were constantly scanning the surroundings, and the Do Qi in his body was ready to explode at any time. If there was anything wrong, he would strike immediately. There seems to be something wrong with the eyes of this giant stone statue, Xiao Yan said with certainty. Is there a problem? Mu Feng heard the words and looked directly at the eyes of the extremely tall giant stone statue. No problem, this giant stone statue has black eyes. Mu Feng looked at it for a while and found that there was no problem, and complained. Black eyes. Xiao Yan heard this, clenched his fists involuntarily, and a sense of unease appeared in his heart. Yes, Xiao Yan, this giant stone statue has black eyes. Are you looking at flowers? Green Flute also came to watch the fun. No, the eyes of the giant stone statue I saw were blue and red, quite strange. Xiao Yang said lightly. One green and one red. Now it was Xiao Yi's turn to be surprised. As a fire elf, Xiao Yi's trust in Xiao Yang is beyond doubt, and Xiao Yi believes that her eldest brother Xiao Yang's terrifying soul perception will not tell any lies. I believe what my elder brother said. It's just that all I see are black eyes. What about you? Xiao Yi asked. What we see is also black pupils. The other three said at the same time. Green Flute, Mu Yingying and Mu Feng all know a little about the identity of this little Ihua elf, so although they don't know the strength of the latter, they are definitely stronger than them, and even vaguely feel it. This Xiao Yi's current strength is probably stronger than their Mu Shuzi. This little Yi can only see black pupils, which means some problems. It seems that there is indeed a problem, Xiao Yang said coldly and immediately said. Come out. A cold snort lingered in this space for a long time. Hey, he really is a terrifying little guy. A lazy smile instantly came from the eyes of the stone giant. Sure enough. Xiao Yang was shocked when he heard this. Xiao Yang knew that he possessed the soul power of the peak of the Emperor realm, and with the double break of spiritual power, Xiao Yang's perception was much stronger than that of ordinary people. The blue and red pupils above the pupils of the giant stone statue are clearly being blindfolded. Otherwise, with Xiao Yi's terrifying 8-star fighting Emperor level strength, he can get through the test. It can be seen that the strength of this spellcaster is how huge. Who are you? A cold snort emanated directly from Xiao Yang, and then a flame slowly drifted into Xiao Yang's palm. You are not the first to see through the secrets of this stone giant. Hihi, but this time, the little guy has the soul power of the peak of the Emperor realm, which is not bad. Laughter appeared. Who the are you? Xiao Yang clearly increased his voice this time, and even the flames above his palms exuded a terrifyingly high temperature. Who I am? It's been too long and I forgot. If you really want to know, then come in and find me. A sigh echoed in this space. As soon as he finished speaking, a little black and white aura emerged from his pupils, and then abruptly dissipated here. It's so evil. Mu Feng coughed a few words immediately, and then arrived. Buzzing. At the moment when the black qi appeared, the fused soul-thirsty talisman in Xiao Yang's hand clearly emitted a terrifying suction force, and then devoured the black qi in an instant. Following the devouring like this, Xiao Yang seemed to feel that the power above the soul-thirsty talisman became more and more evil and strange. Xiao Yang, be careful. Evil black energy poured into Xiao Yang's body instantly, and Xiao Yi shouted loudly. Don't worry. Just as Xiao Yi was about to make a move, Xiao Yang suddenly said casually, and then flames emerged in his body, refining the extremely evil black qi. It's just that everyone else thought that Xiao Yang used flames to refine this black energy. Only Xiao Yang himself knew that the flames clearly didn't play any role. That evil black qi was different from the ghost qi Xiao Yang encountered before. Most of the ghost qi that Xiao Yang encountered in the past were some spooky aura, far from being so evil. This time, if there is no soul-thirsty talisman in his hand, I am afraid that Xiao Yang's situation is extremely bad. Forget it, no matter who this mysterious person is, we still need to decipher this giant stone statue first. Xiao Yang finished refining the black energy, stood up, and said to the people around him. Let's go, let's attract those dark bats. Xiao Yi said slowly. However, it's still difficult to get these dark bats to destroy this giant stone statue for us willingly. Mu Yingying raised her jade hand slightly, as if she remembered something. This is simple. Don't underestimate the dark bat's love for flames. Their love for flames may make you stunned. Not to mention the strange flame on Xiao Yang's body. Mu Feng said with a smile. Then let's try it. Xiao Yang smiled without saying too much. Mu Yingying, Ludi, you and Mu Feng, the three of you stay here, and Xiao Yi and I will lead those dark bats. Xiao Yang thought about it and decided. I'm going too. Mu Yingying was slightly puzzled by Xiao Yang's actions. That's it, you stay here. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, he moved directly with Xiao Yi. The speed was not fast, but he threw himself into the black passage in a blink of an eye. Why don't you take me? Mu Yingying shook her head slightly, trying her best not to think about something. Brother, why don't you let Mu Yingying come with us? The flame on her body is probably holy flame. Seeing that the three of them were far away, Xiao Yi also said. It is indeed a holy flame, although I don't know why she tries so hard to hide it. As for me not letting her come with us, firstly for her safety, secondly. Xiao Yang said here, his voice suddenly became low. What? Xiao Yi was puzzled. I don't know if you have noticed that the azure color on Mu Yingying's body will cause a lot of load to her every time she uses it. So I speculate that the holy flame on her body should be in a sealed state, Xiao Yang whispered. Sealed state. Xiao Yi was shocked when she heard the word. The holy flame in the sealed state, its power is greatly reduced. No wonder Mu Yingying uses holy flame so little. Xiao Yi said. This is just my speculation, and I seem to feel that she has some secrets, so I should try to keep her from fighting as much as possible, otherwise once the holy flame finally erupts, I am afraid that we will both join forces. Xiao Yang said slightly. I know, big brother. Xiao Yi said quite boldly. Xiao Yi knew that her fire elf had given her and Xiao Yang some special abilities, such as joining forces, in other words, possession. As a fire elf wonder of the world, Xiao Yi is directly attached to Xiao Yang, allowing Xiao Yang to obtain an extremely terrifying increase in a short period of time. If the two of them are possessed now, I am afraid that among the 8-star Do Emperors, they will be invincible. With such terrifying strength, they couldn't handle the holy flame in Mu Yingying's body, so the two of them had to be cautious. Okay, it's time to get down to business. Xiao Yang said. Just after Xiao Yang finished speaking, the two of them couldn't help looking at the dark bat inhabiting the dark passage. Go. In the darkness, Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and then an extremely dazzling flame burst out of the two of them in an instant. The flames on the two of them are all 23 colors, or from the inside out, a smear of flames directly covers the whole body, and the terrifying high temperature makes the temperature of this dark passage increase a lot. At the next moment, the dark passage was just above the sky, and countless pairs of fiery red eyes appeared. A wave of viciousness was born in an instant. The dark bat's eyes were tightly locked on Xiao Yang and Xiao Yi. Being locked by such a huge number, Xiao Yang and Xiao Yang couldn't help but feel chills on their backs because of their concentration. Seeing this, the dark bat kept making an extremely harsh sound, and the sound was filled with crazy excitement. The space in the dark passage is extremely narrow, and the flames on the two of them just emerged, and they illuminate the entire passage. At this time, the true face of this channel is revealed. This dark passage, above the passage, are actually all dark bats. The dark bat was suspended upside down in the passage, and above the thin body, a strange flame faintly appeared in its abdomen. Don't underestimate a cluster of flames. The power contained in this tiny cluster of flames is extremely terrifying. The next moment, the dark bats around were as if they had seen delicious food, and flew towards the two of them desperately. The number of these dark bats is really terrifying. However, the dark bat of the mere 1-star Do D is nothing to be concerned about. Rao is Xiao Yi's temperament. Looking at the large black spot in front of him, he can't help but slap his tongue secretly. Go! Xiao Yi said solemnly. Wait, this number is not enough. Xiao Yang kept his eyes fixed on the dark bat directly above the passage. Seeing that the number was increasing, he said. It's almost there, let's go. After a few breaths, Xiao Yang said lightly. It was obvious that the dark bats were very close to the two of them at this time, and the number was enough. Immediately, the speed of the two firemen, who were covered in flames, burst out suddenly, and flew away towards the place where the stone giant was located. In order to prevent the dark bat from losing its target, the two had a moderate speed. The dark bat directly ignored the 3721. There was no hesitation when Xiao Yang and the two escaped from the hungry place. Come on. Mu Yingying and her party stood slightly at the farthest point of the giant stone statue, and immediately saw two extremely dazzling flames appear in the dark passage, and they looked at each other slightly. Get ready, if something goes wrong. Mu Feng signaled with his eyes, and immediately became vigilant. In this unknown place, One cannot let down any vigilance, otherwise the next moment will be the burial place of their group. Boom boom boom. Hurry away. Xiao Yang snorted coldly, and then the flames on the two of them merged instantly, and then Xiao Yang didn't hesitate, and directly threw the fused flame onto the stone giant. Let's see what you do now. After Xiao Yang finished all of this, he said something to the giant stone statue, and then suddenly landed down towards the corner of the wall where Mu Yingying and the others were. The huge soul force and the double protection of fighting qi. Just as Xiao Yang left his front feet, the dark bat on his hind feet was like a hungry ghost rushing towards food. Without any hesitation, he smashed directly on the stone giant. Bang bang bang. The harsh impact sounded directly in this space, and then the body of the dark bat, due to its too fast speed, smashed directly on the stone giant and turned into powder. In the powder, a terrifying flame flashed out, and then directly attacked the stone giant. But the tiny flame was instantly absorbed by the stone giant. I want to see how much you can absorb, Xiao Yang said lightly in his heart, and then the huge dark bats kept smashing on the stone giant, causing a burst of dust to appear. At the same time, the flame on the stone giant did not disappear instantly, but after burning for a few seconds, it was extinguished by some special power on the stone giant. But these few seconds are enough. The speed of these dark bats is extremely fast, almost in a breath. They are smashing at the stone giant, and the number of large troops behind is extremely terrifying, even if the power of flame on the stone giant is extinguished, but because the speed is too fast, the dark bat couldn't stop the car, and smashed directly on the stone giant. Boom boom boom. A wave of extremely hot flame ripples instantly radiated from the stone giant's body, and as the dark bat continued to die, some cracks appeared faintly on the indestructible stone statue of the stone giant. Although these dark bats possess a lot of flame power and space power, they live in this dark space all the year round, and their intelligence is too low. At this time, it is no different from sending them to death. Mu Feng said. Look, every time these dark bats hit the stone giant, they will be instantly turned into powder by the mysterious power of the stone giant, but even if the dark bat dies, the power that erupts is a terrifying flame. Fluctuations. Maybe a dark bat is not very good, but if there are hundreds of thousands, the power is too terrifying. Green Debay's lips moved slightly. As she emerged from the blood of the snake people, it was obvious from the destruction of the dark bat. Among them, I could smell a wave of hot fluctuations. It seems to be feasible, Xiao Yang said slowly, and then he was a little worried. Soul power was bursting out, forming an invisible protection around everyone. After this huge layer of soul power appeared, the terrifying energy generated by the dark bat's death style was instantly isolated and clean. It's going to explode. I don't know who said it. Then those dark bats also seemed to have noticed something was wrong, and stopped sending them to their deaths, but at this time, the cracks on the stone giant were very obvious. Xiao Yi, you're adding some ingredients, Xiao Yang said in an instant, and immediately blocked the exit when several people came in, and an extremely hot flame wave was born in an instant. Okay. Xiao Yi was also someone who understood Xiao Yang's thoughts immediately. As soon as the flame power in her body was invoked, an extremely bright flame appeared in the palm of her hand. Go. Break it for me. Xiao Yi and Xiao Yang's powerful voices slowly spread in this space. The sand and dust rose slightly, and a volcanic eruption-like aura of fear suddenly drifted away. Boom boom boom. The flames left by the dark bat's death, coupled with the power of Xiao Yang and Xiao Yi, instantly hit the stone statue giant, and the stone statue giant actually made a burst of cracking sound. Bang bang bang. The next moment, the giant stone statue blocking the road slowly settled down, and then the dust spread all over. Everyone, be careful, this giant stone statue should be broken, Xiao Yang said, and then his eyes became vigilant, because at this time, Long Yi, who was on the ancient ruler of eternal fire behind him, said something that made Xiao Yang's hair stand upright. Discourse. There seems to be fluctuations in the evil race from outside the territory. Elder Long. Xiao Yang heard the words, his pupils shrank suddenly, and an unspeakable chill poured into his heart. Alien evil race. This is the public enemy of the entire human race. And not only human beings, this extraterritorial evil race is also the public enemy of the entire Seven Realms. The fear and destruction brought by the evil race from the outside world in the Seven Realms is vivid in my eyes, so no matter what kind of civil strife there is in the Seven Realms, when facing the evil race from outside the domain, they will always let go of their grievances and work together. Cooperation to deal with. Because they all know that once this extraterritorial evil race goes out, it will definitely not be peaceful. A home without a country. Without maintaining the existence of the peak powerhouses of the Seven Realms, How could there be so many lower, middle, and higher levels of stability? I'm not sure either. It's just that the evil black aura on the stone giant just now vaguely gave me some feeling. Long Yi's voice was full of uncertainty. If it's really an alien race, I'm afraid it won't be easy to find what I need here. Xiao Yang said slowly. Be careful. Suddenly, Xiao Yang was still immersed in the conversation with Long Yi behind him, and a hurried voice suddenly appeared. Defend now. The next moment, Mu Yingying seemed to have discovered something, and she let out a hysterical anger. What? Xiao Yi and the others were quite puzzled by this sudden scene of Mu Yingying. They just wanted to turn their heads to find out, but the accident happened suddenly. I saw that a circle of black sound waves suddenly appeared in the pupils of the fallen stone giant. The black sound wave seemed to contain other powers, and it suddenly spread out when the stone giant just collapsed. With the appearance of this black sound wave, Xiao Yi shouted violently. How is that possible? Xiao Yi was shocked in her heart. Because Xiao Yi is a fire elf, her body is different from that of humans, with different senses and facial features, so her acceptance of sound is tantamount to being stronger than that of human. But when this black sound wave appeared, Xiao Yi clearly felt that the extremely turbulent flame in her body suddenly solidified. It was as if the flames were instantly frozen, leaving only an empty furnace full of flames. Xiao Yi was extremely shocked. You must know that Xiao Yi is already an 8-star Do Emperor level powerhouse at this time. If she can do such a suppression, then the latter's strength, you don't need to think about it to know how terrifying it is. At the same time, several other people, including Mu Feng and Ludi, had quite pupils on their faces, covering their heads with their hands, obviously extremely painful. Only Xiao Yang and Mu Yingying are slightly better. What's going on? Xiao Yang was the first to speak. I don't know. Mu Yingying said coldly, but her beautiful eyes stared at the giant stone statue that had turned into piles of rock. It's weird. Xiao Yang looked at the few people beside him, and immediately made a deep voice, then following Mu Yingying's gaze, he saw the giant stone statue that had turned into piles of rock. There should be something strange in this rock, Xiao Yang affirmed. The contents here seem to be a bit like the aura of the evil race from outside the realm. It is extremely evil and disturbing. At this time, the eternal fire eternal ancient ruler behind Xiao Yang was slightly exuding a dark red flame, and then directly Xiao Yang wrapped it up so that he was not disturbed by that strange sound wave. As for Mu Yingying's words, at this moment, a slightly blue flame was slowly beating on her body. What? The spirit of the evil race from outside the territory? Xiao Yang was in a hurry when he heard this. Because what his master Jinlong King said, and what his master Tuorsha Gudi said, this extraterritorial evil clan is extremely evil. If he encounters an extraterritorial evil clan here, I am afraid that with Xiao Yang's current strength, it is just a death sentence. Don't worry, since the Golden Dragon King entrusted you to me, even if I fight my life, I won't let you have an accident. Seeing that Xiao Yang was a little worried at this time, Long Yi also said, Old Long, thank you, as long as you help me at the critical moment, although I am a foreigner, I don't think I am afraid of Emperor Yang. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, a burst of arrogance emerged spontaneously. Just as Xiao Yang regained his fighting spirit, Xiao Yi and the others just fainted and fell down instantly. What's going on? Xiao Yang obviously didn't understand the reason, and then said, Don't worry, the black sound wave just now should be just a test for the Guardian, but I don't know why it has evolved into this way. Above the black sound wave, there is clearly an evil spirit. As for your companions, maybe it's just because if they pass out, it won't be a big problem. Long Yi said slowly. Yes. Xiao Yang heard the words, and immediately checked the three of them with his huge soul power, and found that there was no major problem as Long Laro said, and immediately nodded slightly. Elder Long, there seems to be a problem here. Xiao Yang took his eyes back and stared at the fragments of the giant stone statue. The stone giant at this time, after absorbing most of the flame power of the dark bat, has reached the realm that can be absorbed, and finally was hit by Xiao Yang and Xiao Yi with all their strength, so hesitantly cannot bear such a terrifying power, explode directly. After the explosion, there were traces of white rock blocks of different sizes and shapes. As for the road blocked by the giant stone statue before, it was also smooth. From a distance, it seems that it is still a dark and bottomless passage, but at this time Xiao Yang did not have the time to care about where the passage was behind him, so he should resolve the matter in front of him first. Go and have a look. Xiao Yang heard the words, and was extremely vigilant in his heart, and his palms were slightly tilted back. If there was anything wrong, he would immediately pull out the ancient ruler of different fire and use the thunder method. Well, be careful, this rock seems to contain some kind of power, and even my holy flame is a little powerless. Mu Yingying Bei bit her lips slightly. Okay. Xiao Yang nodded and said, let's go. Although there is some aura of foreign evil clan here, according to my investigation, there is no trace of foreign evil clan. Elder Long hesitated for a while, and then said directly to Xiao Yang. 1 step. Step 2. Every time he took a step, Xiao Yang could feel the powerful beating of his heart. What is this? When he came to the white rock ground where the fragments of the giant stone statue were, Xiao Yang slightly picked up a piece of white rock and said. It was a rock that looked rather white at first glance. Xiao Yang picked it up gently, and didn't feel anything wrong. Look at the back. At the next moment, Mu Yingying suddenly spoke up. There was an extremely rare solemnity in her voice, and her face as beautiful as a peach blossom became darker. What? Xiao Yang was quite puzzled, then moved his palm lightly and slowly turned the white rock in his hand over. The next moment, Xiao Yang's brows wrinkled, his face darkened instantly, and an unbelievable look emerged. Xiao Yang turned the white rock block over, and a rather strange face appeared. The face is like a human face, with sharp edges and corners, eyes closed, and a very sinister smile flows from the corners of the mouth. Around the white rock, a thick black aura surrounds it. Extraterritorial evil race? A startled shout echoed directly in this small space. Mu Yingying was slightly startled. She was extremely puzzled by what this extraterritorial evil race was, and then said, extraterritorial evil race? What is that? Xiao Yang put the white rock down instantly, and then hesitantly glanced at Mu Yingying surrounded by blue holy flames. The evil tribe outside the territory is the public enemy of the 7 realms, and this is a household name. How could Mu Yingying not know this? Is she a fool? How could someone with holy flame be a fool? A series of question marks pressed down on Xiao Yang's heart. He shook his head slightly, and then said to Mu Yingying earnestly, evil clans from outside the realm. We live in the Great Thousand World. Outside the Great Thousand World, there are countless evil people. They try to invade our planes. Every time they invade, they will be ruined. The collective name of these creatures is the foreign evil race. Xiao Yang was flat. But there is a solemn taste in the voice. Are they really so evil? Mu Yingying heard that. She didn't know what she was thinking. Perhaps, but I think it's definitely not something we see that can make a plane turbulent and make all living creatures slaughter. Xiao Yang said. Mu Yingying responded softly, then squatted down slightly, slowly lowered her jade hand, and walked towards the white rock. Mu Yingying gently picked up the white rock and turned it over directly. What are you doing? Be careful. There is still such a trace of evil aura on it. If it is penetrated by this evil energy, it will be extremely troublesome. Seeing this, Xiao Yang hurriedly shouted. Although the things on the white rock were only some residual evil aura nicks, they vaguely exuded a rather terrifying aura, which shocked Xiao Yang. It's all right, don't forget the flames on me. Mu Yingying responded casually, and then her beautiful eyes stared at the evil face behind the white rock. CC. The blue flames continued to radiate from Mu Yingying's jade hand, heading towards the white rock. The azure flame just touched the evil face, and the evil face seemed to come alive, and a ferocious sound suddenly came. Holy flame! An evil voice echoed in this small space. Destroy. Mu Yingying ignored the evil voice from her face and continued to increase the power of the blue flame on her jade hand. The azure blue flame directly set the white rock on fire, and then the evil face behind the white rock showed signs of melting. What was that sound just now? Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't stop Mu Yingying, but just said slightly puzzled. It should be the foreign evil race you mentioned, but on the white rock, there is only a trace of evil aura that is too weak. Mu Yingying used the blue flame to evaporate the evil face on the white rock. After that, the body was a little tired, and then said, Be careful, it doesn't seem to be very peaceful here. Xiao Yang said solemnly. They were in a coma largely because of this evil face. Now that this thing has been dissolved by me, they should wake up. Mu Yingying said. Big brother, what just happened? As the evil face behind the white rock evaporated, Xiao Yi and the others also woke up. It's just that the 3 Xiao Yi at this time only felt a pain in their bodies. Obviously, since the black sound wave hit them and they passed out, they have no memory. It's okay, I encountered something else. Xiao Yang smiled lightly. Mu Yingying on the side saw Xiao Yang like this, her eyes narrowed slightly, obviously not knowing why Xiao Yang wanted to hide them. The reason why Xiao Yang didn't tell the news of this foreign evil clan to a few people was mainly to reassure them. After all, veterans, you handed over these 4 people to him, and no matter what happened, nothing could happen. Since it's all right, let's go. I have a hunch, there seems to be a lot of good things in there. You can't rob me at that time, hey. Mu Feng said with a grin. Let's go, I'll take the lead. Xiao Yi is in charge of the brake, and if there is any emergency, run first. Xiao Yang's face sank, and he said to the people behind him. Okay. Green Flute and the others also knew that this desert area was no better than other places, and could be ranked among the 3 major Jedi desert areas in the lonely desert of death. It was no joke. The few people took light steps, trying not to make a loud noise, then bypassed the stone giant that had turned into piles of white rocks, and went to the rear. Here, it should be the entrance to the desert area. Just now, it was just a small test, or just a test to enter the entrance to the desert area. Xiao Yang stood at the front, his pupils flashing with flames, and he said to the people behind him. The black sound wave just now seems to be a ban. I can feel that this desert area should not allow powerhouses above the 7-star Do Emperor to enter. Green Flute said, obviously the black sound wave just brought them all 3. Not a small shock. The feeling of that black sound wave is like probing their strength. Once they surpass the level of the 7-star Do Emperor, they will be photographed immediately. Yes, it's just that I'm a bit special. Xiao Yi also noticed the hesitant gaze of Green Flute, and spoke immediately. Xiao Yi is a fire elf, although the strength of the eyes has reached the level of the 8-star fighting emperor, which exceeds the limit of this prohibition, but because he is a fire elf, plus the power of flame in Xiao Yang's body, he is not pushed out. For this reason, Xiao Yi couldn't explain it herself. Xiao Yang, be careful, there seems to be a powerhouse from a foreign evil race, and I don't think you can handle it right now. The group walked slowly. The different fire constant ancient ruler suddenly said. A strong man from a foreign evil clan? Xiao Yang was also surprised. Because as he passed the road blocked by the giant stone statue, Xiao Yang vaguely discovered that there seemed to be a slight change in the Fen Ju in his body, and even the ghost realm weapon in his hand exuded an extremely greedy feeling. Elder Long, how strong are the powerhouses from the extraterritorial evil clan you said? Xiao Yang said unrelentingly. It's very strong. At least it can be on par with the current me, or even stronger than me, Long Yi said slowly, his voice full of solemnity. How is that possible? Xiao Yang was shocked when he heard this. If this extraterritorial evil race is stronger than Long Lao, no matter how tempting treasures this desert area holds, they can only give up. But don't worry, the power of the aliens is too evil, and the strange fire in your body can suppress it, and even the Soul Eater talisman in your hand can suppress the aliens quite a bit. Also, the azure blue holy flame on Mu Yingying's body, although I don't know exactly which one is on the holy flame list, there is no doubt that holy flame has the most obvious suppression of foreign evil race. Long Yi saw Xiao Yang thinking, he spoke out immediately. If that's the case, even if this desert area is a Longtan tiger's den, I, Xiao Yang, have to make a foray. Xiao Yang said without fear. This video will end here.